All right, hey everybody. I am up here on the North River up by Tellico, on the Tellico River. This is a tributary, and I'm going to show you guys what I brought today. I want to show you that you don't have to get so extravagant with your gear, and it's nice. I have good gear. It's not inexpensive, but it's stripped down. See a lot of people worry about what they're taking out to paint with, and it's kind of a barrier to getting out and painting. So like, I believe in simplifying as much as possible, and this is what I brought today. I just going to show you how easy it is to get out and paint with the right gear. So paper towels, I'm trying something new today. One of the artists I follow on YouTube turned me onto this stuff. It's non-toxic, plant-based, like not mineral spirits, just a thinner basically. I even forget the brand. I don't have the bottle. It's in my Jeep here. Let me see. Okay, Art Treehouse, bio-based artist rinse and thinner. So this basically replaces my Gamsol and turpentine. That I use turpentine outside a lot, Gamsol indoors, but this is going to replace both, I hope, and make things a little less toxic for me for the long haul. I plan to do this until I go in the ground later than sooner, hopefully. So there we go with that, my thinning medium. Little attaché case, shaving bag, whatever you want to call it. Multi-tool, 2 palette knives. Really don't even need those 2. Cad lemon yellow. I am out of ultramarine blue, so I just grabbed what was the closest. This is Prussian blue. I don't know, I don't use Prussian blue a lot, but I had it, so it's my blue today. Alizarin crimson and titanium white. That's it. 3 colors in white and a little mixing cup, because I'm also wanting to try this oil of spike lavender. I've never used it before, so I'm kind of leery of it because afraid I'll over thin or it's really slow down the dry time. I like to have my paint setting up as I'm painting, so this may not work for me. Trash bag that I clip onto my pallet so I can keep my mess to a minimum. Make sure I always pack out whatever I pack in. Decent sturdy tripod. This one happens to be a Manfrotto. I really stripped back my brushes today. 3 brushes. A number 4, or was it? Yeah, a number 2 flat synthetic and a number 6 flat synthetic. And just this little worn out round brush, number 2 round brush that I just kind of maybe use for sketching or doing something to make some marks. And then of course, the most important part is my palette. This is an open box M 11x14 that I've had forever. And for those that aren't familiar with an open box M, it's a clamshell type, opens up. Spring-loaded panel holder, so you can put different size panels up there. This has been on here forever, so this is generally the color palette I use, but today, like I say, I'm just doing the 3 colors in white. Some panel holders, 9x12s here, then I got an assortment of like 6x12s and 6x8s, and like maybe 4x8s in here, so depending on what I decide to paint, which you may hear the waterfall back here, or the rapids along this river. As I was driving along, it caught my attention. So that's probably what I'm going to shoot for today. Hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully it turned out. I don't know. We'll see when I get it edited. But anyway, any questions about gear, give me a shout. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Okay, like I said, this is the North River Road up in the Tellico. And I was just driving by and this looked like a good spot. I've not painted this spot before. So let's go down here and look at this waterfall. Busy road. They've got the river road closed, and this is the detour as the Forest Service is replacing the bridge at Bald River Falls. So kind of limited on access up here right now. And looks like hopefully it will be worth it once they get that bridge replaced. But this right here is what caught me. So I'm going to get down and see if I can put together a composition. It's late after or mid-afternoon. I haven't looked at the clock. I know it's well after 12. So the sun is not exactly ideal directly overhead, but this may pan out into something cool. I'll get set up here. Okay, here's the view I'm going to try to paint. I'm set up right here on this rock. I do have sun on my mixing surface, but I'm out of the light, out of the direct sunlight on my panel, which, you can do it, but I just try not to paint with my sun directly, or my panel directly in the sun. I can get away with it here because I'm always looking and making my judgments here as far as color and value. So anyway, and just show you that I got just the three colors: titanium white, cad lemon yellow, alizarin crimson, and that Prussian blue. Everything else is scraped off. My container of that new brush cleaner and thinner, my trash bag, my backpack hanging back there to put some weight because I'm kind of precariously situated here. These rocks are all different angles, but it's the best angle that I could find for this subject. So we'll see what I can do here. I'll start out just probably sketching here with some alizarin crimson. It's a good transparent, this is a very dark scene overall, really, because the water is dark, bluish green. The rocks on the shadow side are purplish, and then really the only light is just the water, the breaking water, where it's breaking over the rocks and swirling around at the base of the rocks. So I'm squinting and looking. I want to simplify. You don't get right immediately get bogged down in details. So this is kind of a difficult angle, but it should make for an interesting angle. So we got this big rock right over my left shoulder. It dips down where the first little ripple comes off. And there's a rock bulging up here. The next little ripple. And I'm trying to think of my horizon line is going to be, it's actually above this. The horizon line is like up here. So it's always, try to make that reference so you can build your perspective correctly. Angled rocks jutting up, which kind of is what I was counting on to make this interesting. Because the water is an obvious thing, at least I think so. is all coming this way. And I'm kind of looking, obviously I'm looking down on this. I'm above the water, the plane of the water down here. I'm above it looking down. So you're having this kind of composition like this. And you got this, like some rocks. These, I may not paint these in. This may not be necessary. Maybe too much. So there's like some rocks here. Or there's this white water back here. Yes. Painted that just to give me some direction. These are just lines of direction. So there's like a water level of water back here. This is all coming down around behind these rocks and spilling over and coming down. Boom. So like this is all basically shadow. And the really, really dark darks are back here, which will let me build that rock against. So, like I say, while this is in shadow, this is darker because this is getting reflected light bounced back up into the shadow. So, there, I've made a mess. Now let's try to do something with it. I may go to time-lapse mode, I don't know. I don't know how long this painting is going to take, and I don't know how bored I want to make everybody. By the way, this stuff seems to be working pretty good. Has I don't think it has any smell, honestly, compared to turpentine and Gamsol. It's, and people have like maybe a false sense of security with Gamsol. Gamsol is still a petroleum product, and is not, it's way better than a lot of, thinners and materials that we use, but it's still not good for you. I don't think I'll drink this stuff, but supposedly it's, not as safe as you can get. All right. What to do? I may just let this play, as long as my battery holds out. There is a little bit of a smell, kind of a sweet smell. I'm not going to use the lavender, because I haven't used it before, and I'm not quite ready. Oh, I forgot I'm using Prussian blue, so that's kind of got a, I don't know, it's not as dark as what ultramarine would do for me, I don't think, but maybe, I don't know, maybe make something interesting happen here. I don't know. That's part of the fun of painting, is you don't really know what's going to happen. Just kind of go for it. The painting as thin as I can. I'm going to start out thin. You don't want to get a whole bunch of paint on here just yet, but you do want to cover. And I do stress that, doing plein air, you want to cover the canvas completely before you start making judgments. And what is your painting going to be? Because until you get everything covered, you don't really know what you have. So it's see, this is where I'm running into where this light is on my panel, or my mixing surface. I'm mixing too dark. So it'll look way lighter than you think here. Once you put it up here, it'll look darker. So something to be aware of and make the adjustments that you need up here. I mean, you adjust it here, but judge it up here. And just kind of doing the whole shot thing is like a middle, it's not really a middle value, but it's a step down from the background. And just all this area I'll do as the shadow, and then I can cut the light into it. Kind of making a purpley. So I'm just dipping the corner of my brush in there to thin this out. I don't know how it reacts yet. That's the first time I've used this stuff, so I don't want to get it too thin and too wet, so that it don't set up as I go along. I want it to be starting to get tacky and this opportunity to put some having variations of warms and cools in those shadows just makes interest, but you got to hold the value. Brush strokes can also be used to indicate direction. You know, like these rock faces are going up. So that can be a useful thing. starting to get a cramp in my left calf. I'm having to stand on this rock, like on the ball of my foot. See, it's a workout too. Be a plein air painter. Can I stand here like this for an hour? I don't know. I'm not so tough anymore. I know if you notice me going and trying to grab for some cad red, I don't have it. It's just see, you build muscle memory. The more you paint, I use the same layout of my colors. Yeah, I don't even really look. I know where it's at. It's kind of like I say, like a drummer. You know, a drummer knows where his toms and his crashes and everything are. So, yeah. Some warmth in this water, some of the rocks, the submerged rocks reflecting up through there, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see. Okay. Well, I'm only using one brush. Like I said, I wanted to get my darks, as much of it established, because that's then lets me clean that dark out of this brush, and then I'll just start making my lighter that I use and build this rock. this is also when I stop using as much medium or thinner, just go tube consistency with the paint. I can't get my highlights too light, because then my white, which I'm saying white, this will not be white. There's a lot of value changes in this water using cooler colors and warmer colors, but that'll be the lightest value. So I have to hold back, so that will be the lightest value. It's really kind of just, I think what called rim light on that rock. Bluish highlights there. Some of this reflections, and it's kind of the sky reflecting. No, it's not. Jeez, the dust. I'm like right next to the road, but I'm below the road, so. Oh well, hazards of plein air, if you want to call it that. What's really fun with rocks is getting like those half tones. Really lets you play around with mixing a bunch of different grays. By just using the three colors, what's really cool too is it all unifies. You don't have to worry about, I mean, it's very much possible to make mud, but less likely. It all kind of works together. I didn't quite have that all mixed up good. There's like a big blob of alizarin in there. So. Clouds moving in. I don't know if it's going to rain on me or not. Might be. Could be a dramatic conclusion to this painting. Who knows? Love it. Try to scrape some of this paint out of here. I'm going to go to try to just get that lighter value, that white, so I can start, like I say, make that. You got to get stuff fleshed out so you can make judgments and adjustments. Because if you start making adjustments before you have everything pretty much worked, up there to get a baseline to say, okay, that's too light, that's too dark, that's too warm, that's too cool. Because that's what really is important. Subject matter is just kind of an excuse to use those I don't want to call it laws of art. It's just the things that work. Everybody uses them because they work. It's kind of like fighting against nature. There's a reason things do what they do and look the way they look and react the way they react. It's nature. That's one thing about that's what I see about the Prussian blue is it's very chromatic, which is kind of cool. I don't know. I try not to paint too saturated. I kind of try to kill everything. I'll just start out. This may be too dark, as I will say once again. But you kind of do want to start out light, dark up. And this back here, although I'm getting hard edges right now, this will all get softened out because things that are farther away, contrast won't be as strong as things here close in the foreground. Got this white water back there coming around the rocks. And no thinner, just straight tube consistency. You kind of use a shoveling motion with the brush to get a lot of paint. So I'm going to drag some of that dark that I had already on there because it's not dry. Not even close. So I think I do see that this doesn't tack up as fast as turpentine, which I didn't think it would, but I'm still, this is the first time, like I said, and I've got to learn its rate of drying. Tucks back in there. You don't want like just a straight line there. It'd be very uninteresting looking. That little trickle comes down right here. And this one is here between the rocks. Back there. The sun popped back out again. Another challenge. Shadow to this water, the shadow in the water itself. Trying to use some broken brush strokes. Try some pure white just to see how, I mean, I'm only allowed by, the paint, how light of a value I can go. So there's still a little bit of room there. And that's right where the brightest sunspots and light is all right in this water where this is splashing down into this pool. So I want to reserve it all for right there. And this little puddle, or this little stream, kind of coming in. I don't really want to have it too, I don't want to make it too distinct, this close to the edge and the bottom. It is a lead, it helped maybe lead in and around. We shall see here as I continue on. going to make that just dark. Hopefully there's some warmth. Are some, leaves back here. Once again, I don't want the value to change too much. Just to That sun reflecting off the ferrule on that brush. Woo, blinding. I know I've seen some plein air artists put black electrical tape around it or something like that to kind of keep that reflection. Woo. That's one of the hard things with cutting back dark against that light. Pick that light up. When I start putting thicker paint on, I try to have vertical brush strokes, because in the indoor setting, gallery, whatever, no artificial lights on it, horizontal brush marks create reflections. So something else to think about. Let's get some of this reflected light in here. It's dark. See what I mean? That sun is shining directly on your palette. You overcompensate to the dark. There we go. I better look and see how my battery's doing. I've been going for a while here, so. Some worms down here, the base of this rock. All right, I'm hoping this is showing up. It's hot. The sun is so bright right now, it's hard for me to see if the exposure is right on that little bitty screen. So I apologize. I mean, this video may not even be worth posting. So let's see if we can do some finishing touches to it here. There goes my little brush, maybe. break this water up. Make it look translucent. Where did that blue come from? Ugh. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop right there. Let's take a gander at it here. Hard to tell if it's showing up very good in the camera. And it's probably gonna look totally different and probably gonna be too dark. But that's it.